Hello, my name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel, and today we're going to do a tour of the 3 plots. We've just got back from holiday, everything's going a bit crazy, everything's a bit messy, but yeah, it'd be worth having a look round because everything is nicely transitioning now over to autumn and winter. Although I've got a few hangers on which are kind of doing a bit too well. I was hoping they would be dying back a bit by now, and as a result I wouldn't have any guilt over pulling them out. But yeah, let's have a quick look. So starting in the polytunnel where I'm sitting, and the celery, the winter celery, is looking really nice. It's coming on well, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. And so we'll start harvesting this now, just to sort of keep it under control. So that's pretty good. The French beans, these haven't done brilliantly actually. I'm not very pleased with the variety. They're a little bit spindly, but still getting a nice crop, plenty for us, and not enough for surplus. Now if you look at my trestle tables up here, they're basically full, and as a result of that, the stuff underneath is a bit behind the times really. So the carrots, which I'd hoped to be harvesting by now as baby carrots for the salad mixes, well, there are a few that are ready, but probably another couple of weeks really before they're ready to go, which is a bit of a shame. This next batch of celery down here, again, is doing pretty well. The golden purslane interplanted with the spring onions, it's doing okay. We just harvested that yesterday, so it looks a bit bare at the moment, but the stuff outside's not doing so well, so it's nice that we've got this in here, which is carrying on doing well. The golden purslane is basically the star of the show for this year. I'm going to plant at least twice as much as I did this year next year, because it's just great. Everybody loves it in the salad mixes. And some more carrots there, again not really ready yet, and so it's no surprise really when you look at the light levels under here that everything is a little bit delayed down there. The beans though, wow, I'm so pleased with these runner beans. The ones outside are not doing brilliantly, but these are fantastic. We've got a lovely crop on these and they're really tender. The ones outside are getting a little bit tough now. So yes, I'm really pleased, and there's plenty on here, and we harvested this yesterday, and as you can see there's stacks and stacks coming. So really pleased, and I'm hopeful that in the polytunnel these will carry on nicely well into well, for a few months yet. So these are my latest planted cucumbers, and as you can see I've got stacks of cucumbers on here, so I'm really pleased. Whether this plant will hold on or not, I don't know, but it's stuck away in this little corner where it's nice and warm for it. So I'm hoping that I'll get, you know, maybe 10 or 20 even little cucumbers on here, and these will basically just stay maybe even into winter. I can see that little insect there. Well, he's bit me on the lip the other day. It was on a raspberry, and I just thought it was a leaf, and I kind of just went to eat it, and it bit me on the lip. Anyway, so tomatoes, I have so many tomatoes left on here, still ripening up on all these plants. They're just, look at this, so many, and I really want to take these tomatoes out soon. So it's just everywhere, and we've just been harvesting them so much. Hardly, well, we do know what to do with them. In fact, the more the better, because we make loads of passata sauce at the moment, and Debbie's busy doing that actually probably today at home. Cucumbers, mature ones, everywhere I look. which is good because I'm harvesting again today, but loads more coming. And these are on the existing plants, so I'm so pleased with the way that these have gone. And basically the way that I did this was I just took some side shoots rather than cutting them off. So when the main shoots were kind of depleted, I just let some side shoots grow, cut the main shoots out, and just got a whole new vigorous plant basically. It's gone mad. You can see that probably need to do a bit of pruning of the tomatoes. Some of them have got a bit out of hand while I've been away. It's amazing how quickly things have grown. What else? Well, the peppers are going fantastic still. And let's have a look at the potatoes. Look at these potatoes. They're just gone crazy in here. I don't think it's the light levels that have made them go so leggy, because the light levels in here are not too bad, but this is south facing, so they've been getting the sun for most of the day. Although these, which were planted later, these are looking much nicer, much more compact plants, so that's not so bad. So this is my next succession of tomato plants, and they're looking not that healthy to be honest, those, but I think those were outside and it got a bit cold for them, whereas the ones that have been inside all the time, these are looking much nicer, much more vigorous. And I've got a good crop of tomatoes on those, and I've got another batch. I've got some more down here, and I've got another batch which are in the greenhouse, which will be going home probably with me today to go in the conservatory. So I've got quite a nice little succession going of those. I think I said on the last video I had loads of problems with the last batch of compost and nothing grew, so I've had to transplant everything out of that compost, and everything's growing quite nicely now. I lost quite a few seedlings, but all these that have been transplanted are okay. I had to transplant into these giant pots because I ran out of smaller pots, but hopefully this batch of lettuces, these will end up in the polytunnel, and because I can't take the tomatoes out yet, it's quite good that these are in these big pots, because they'll last nicely for me. So here are my last batch of brassicas. Again, some of these will probably end up in the polytunnel, but can you see quite a few caterpillars on these? And so I shall have to go around and pick these off. They're really well disguised, and I actually looked on these last night for caterpillars and I didn't see any, but then the light levels were quite low, so I'll not bore you with picking caterpillars off. But yeah, and then there's some more brassicas here, so lots of different kales and some cabbages and things like that. They won't go in the polytunnel. And then yeah, more cucumbers, as if I needed more. I had some left over and I just popped them in these hanging baskets just to see what happened. And I mean, look, cucumbers in this tiny little hanging basket. So probably people who are more experienced than me will be laughing at my surprise, but yeah, I'm just kind of stunned. And I got some more on here, another little one in a hanging basket, but that was outside, that one, so it didn't do quite so well. Alright, well I think that's the polytunnel done. So I can always tell when I'm away, the spiders take over and they just spiders webs everywhere. So I've emptied these two of my water butts and given them a good clean out, and they've been refilled, and this one is the one I'm currently working from, and I'll be getting that one clean soon. And there's an overview of the plot. It's doing pretty well. So just some odds and sods in here which will be cleared soon and replanted. Some nice spinach in there. So we haven't had true spinach for a few months because we don't bother growing it in the summer because it bolts too quickly. But that looks like it's going to be ready well, it's probably ready now. This is my existing one of my existing salad beds, and it's looking pretty good. This is all temporary salad basically that will just be harvesting for the next month. Then these beds get cleared and we switch over to the salads that are planted later, and there's some of those in there actually already. But just look at that mare's tail that's grown in a week. It's phenomenal. Nice bed of spring onions here, and these are golden beets, and they're just starting, looks like they're going to seed now, so need to get these harvested as soon as possible. It just looks so lovely, and the leaves are just so nice. These are the ones that got rust, which I cut back, and you can see they've grown back very nicely. So I've got some chard here, and I did have over there some bull's blood beets, but all of these here have all been eaten by slugs probably, so I'll have to get those replanted. I think I've got some spares. These are intended for baby leaf because I've got plenty of mature ones as well. And then in here, just another one of my odds and sods salad beds that I'm using right now. And then here we've got the sweet potatoes. I mean, no particular rush to clear this bed because it will get planted up in October time with salads that will mature in early spring. So those will be things like winter gem, and they make lovely hearts in early spring if you get them going now. Some tomatoes in there, just a few. Debbie harvested all those last night, so not much to see, but it's nice to see they're still holding on just about. Carrots in here. This is our existing this is the carrot bed we're currently harvesting from. Doesn't look very nice. A few leeks, which are pretty good. Bit of rust on them. All of the leeks seem to have rust now. Yeah, let's have a quick look in the greenhouse. So yeah, these are the tomato plants which are heading for the conservatory at home, and yeah, they're looking pretty good, pretty healthy. And then we've got lots of stuff in here. We've got some cauliflowers, we've got some Chinese cabbage, some, what are those? I think they're lettuce freckles or something like that. Some more spinach coming on. But you can see the problem that I've had with this compost. You see, nothing is growing at all. This is exactly how I left it a week ago. No progress at all. No progress on any of these, no progress on any of these. And then you can kind of compare, look, the ones that get transplanted just shoot into life. And I've even given them a little bit of a feed with a very dilute feed, but no, nothing, no progress. So, and again, an example of some that have been transplanted. It's just mad. I've just run out of things to transplant into. Anyway, got some nice little red cabbages here, which are coming on well, and some lovely peppers. Debbie picked loads of these yesterday, but still a very nice harvest on these. Very pleased with the peppers this year. Most of these have been outside for most of the year. Just popped them back in the greenhouse just for whilst they finish off ripening up. So I've got some more spring onions here, and then we're on to the beetroot harvest for the winter. And some of these are maybe a bit big now, but actually we had some this week we took away with us while we were on holiday, and they were just fine. And we've got some more in here, golden beets, and these are my favourite for storage. These are cylindra, and they look like a right mess, but actually the beets under there are top notch. Really beautiful cylindra, and they keep so well. And what have I got in here? Some more beets, and I think, yeah, they're cylindra as well, so that's really good. And then that's my shard bed, so that's the bed that we're currently harvesting. We have a lot of people that we feed that like shard, which is good because we've got quite a bit of it there. And I've got some Radicchio. This is Radicchio that I planted outside, obviously. I wanted to compare the progress with the stuff that I'm growing in my little hoop tunnel. This will heart up nicely, but the stuff in the hoop tunnel's done really nicely. And then some more spring onions, which are growing very strongly, so I'm very pleased about that. And I got my odds and sods brassicas. Most of the brassicas are on Jenny's plot, but I do have a few on here. So there's a few sprouts, a few cabbages, some calabrese, yeah, some red cabbages here, and just odds and sods really, that I had nowhere to put them. So this is one of my winter salad beds. I'm quite pleased with this one. Again, you can see that these are the same, or planted at the same time as the ones in the greenhouse, and you can just see how they've sprung to life once they got in the ground. Asparagus, look at that crop of seeds there. I don't know whether I need any more asparagus, but I'm really tempted to sow some of these seeds, because what a crop of seeds that is. I'm really pleased with that. And look, these are the Radicchio. You can remember what they looked like a few seconds ago, but these are twice the size in this little hoop tunnel. And then again, there's some odds and sods of salads there, but I've lost all those gaps there. I've lost plants, probably due to cutworm. There's some more salads here, and some radishes, and some spinach, and what's that there? Rocket, salad rocket. And then another one of my winter salad beds. It's looking quite nice. Another salad bed there that we're currently harvesting from, and lots of nice radishes in here as well. I like to plant the radishes in little clumps. You can't really see here. I like to plant them in little clumps, and they grow really well. So then I've got ochre, and this is looking pretty healthy. Ochre takes up a lot of space, and it's just not really worth growing in any of my main beds. So I just had some tubers left over from last year, and so I just popped them in these bags, and they've done pretty well. And of course, with ochre, you've got to leave them as long as possible into winter, because that's when they do all the tuber formation. So I shall pop those in the greenhouse or the polytunnel to try and keep them going, really late. I'm not sure what triggers the tuber formation, whether it's light levels or cold or what, but yeah, try and keep them going as long as possible, because I do like the ochre tubers. They're quite nice in salads, really lemony and kind of crunchy. So good old New Zealand spinach. This is why we don't bother growing true spinach in summer, because the New Zealand spinach just does so well. I've actually got some in the greenhouse as well in a pot, because the first frost will kill this off, and I wanted to see how long I could keep that going. Carrots, these are black carrots, and bit slow to mature by comparison with the normal carrots, like sweet candle or whatever it is that I'm growing. Got some more radishes coming on there nicely. Another set of winter salads here. And I'm growing Salanova reds in here because they're low. They'll only grow maybe 6 inches. So even though this cold frame doesn't have much vertical clearance, they will grow just fine in here, and the radishes grow fine at the front, so it's alright. And then some more spring onions interplanted with more lettuces. So you think, well, I've got a lot of lettuces here, but actually this is the kind of number of lettuces I need, because I'll have way too many in October, but come November and December and January I'll only just have enough, and then in February, late February, it all starts going crazy again. I'll have way too many. So what else have I got? So I've got all of my strawbs down here. I need to cut some of these runners off. These are all runners themselves, but the runners have now got runners, so it's just crazy. Anyway, let's jump over here and have a look. So I've got all my January King, I think these are, and these are going very nicely. And I've got some sprouts, and I had such bad experience with sprouts. I actually planted a little clump of 3, and all 3 of them in each case are doing beautifully. So I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to cut them off or let them carry on growing and see what happens. Anyway, I'll make that decision later. Then I've got my rocket, which is just mad. This is wild rocket. It's kind of just taken over that bed, so I'll probably have to set it out soon. And I've got my main winter carrot bed, and then I've got my really late beetroot bed here, and another one there. So that one's Celery, and that one's golden beetroot as well. So I've got one more succession of carrots to sow, and those are going to be ones that we'll be eating in hopefully May next year. So yeah, and just raspberries. So I think that is my plot pretty much done, apart from, oh yeah, I did plant some runner beans in, I can't remember what it was now, it was July sometime anyway, and they really struggled with the heat. But now I get some nice little runner beans on these ones outside, so I was ready to pull these out and get this bed replanted, but actually I'll let them just hang on a little bit longer, because I can get this bed planted later on in October, so might as well enjoy all these beans while they last. Might even get to freeze some. We're not a massive fan of frozen food, but yeah, we'll freeze a little bit. And then I was hoping to save my golden purslane, and some of it survived, but it's not growing very much now. So we harvested this yesterday, but I don't think I'll get many more crops off that, so I'll get that replanted soon. Looks like it's self-seeding, or something's self-seeding in there, because there's a lot of weeds. And then I've got yet another salad bed. Okay, that's my plot done. So I'll shoot another video of Debbie and Jenny's plot, but I'll not attach it to this one because this is running a bit long now. So okay, another day, another harvest, and we're just about to go on holiday, so we're not harvesting for anybody else, just a few bits and pieces for us. Thought I'd just show you what we picked. So I've got courgette here, a couple of cucumbers, some beetroot and carrots, pears, more pears. We're going to dehydrate some of these. Apples. I've got another batch which we've just dehydrated. Beans, little French beans in there as well. Some nice mixed brassica leaves, and some salads. So that should keep us going for a few days.